Welcome back everyone. Today we're reading some Tumblr stuff because I want to. RPG writers. Church bad? yeah, this isn't a perfect chuckle. Dragons good? Yeah! Church sucks because it won't let you frick dragons. Heaven's Word, which is a Final Fantasy game. Cannot stress enough, this is the literal plot of Heaven's Word. Not my tag. What the frick do you mean by that? I meant what I said. I've realized my family doesn't respond well to me pointing out their racism and body shaming by saying it's rude and a cruddy thing to say, because those are things they don't care about. So instead, I resorted to saying it's classless and not elegant. It turned out to be surprisingly effective. Okay, thinking about this, I'm probably wrong and I'm talking on my butt by this, but rude and a cruddy thing to say point out you are hurting someone else. Classless and not elegant point out this is making you look bad, which might explain a lot actually. Getting into this hobby is actually super cheap and easy. First, start with a section of land and a house that you own and can mess up at your discretion. The original inspiration for this is that I've looked up a lot of basic woodworking stuff multiple times to try and make better and better tortoise enclosures, and ended up in this trap every time. It's much cheaper to buy this size of wood and take it to your table saw. What frickin' table saw? The secret is that people who have a garage with a table saw are constantly looking for reasons to justify that use of space and money. So if you find somebody with a table saw and ask if you can use it, you're actually doing them a huge favor by justifying the saw continuing to take up space. Of course I need a table saw. What if somebody needs to upgrade a turtle enclosure? Number 1, go to a local gay bar. Number 2, find a group of 50 to 60-year-olds. Number 3, ask if anyone has a table saw. Number 4, watch their eyes light up. Do you not see why people believe astrology though? So, I'm a custodian. Whenever someone does something cool like poop on the bathroom floor or get blood all over a toilet, I have to close the bathroom down by blocking the doorway with a closed sign. This sign is big and bright and says closed in 4 languages and has a do not enter symbol. It completely blocks the doorway. The only way to enter is to look at the sign and either move it or climb over it. Almost every single time I shut down a bathroom so I can suit up and clean a biohazard, someone will enter the bathroom with a dead-eyed, slack-jawed expression and try to wordlessly walk past me to use a stall. And every single time I have to block their path and say, "This bathroom is closed. There is one directly down the hall, marked by signs. Please leave." And they either try to argue that they specifically should be allowed to use this one, as if they are God's most special little guy, or express shock even though they, again, had to contend with the closed sign to enter. Often I'm standing there in the middle of cleaning up bodily fluids, having to firmly repeat myself. They always leave angry or confused. Anyways, you click this button to send me an ask about astrology. No asks about astrology. I do see why people believe in astrology though. It's really easy to fall for scammers that vaguely mention things, and there's a reason why people do it. I think you're kind of dumb for believing it, like if you take it seriously. If you look at it as like, haha, that's funny, whatever. But like, I'm sorry, but no, your actions are not justified because of the day you were born. This unwise potion got me feeling unwise. Super idiot drink. I don't need no potion for that. American middle school. Okay, for gym class today, we're gonna learn how to square dance like a bunch of cowboys. The Cookie Monster pajama pants, white trash girl, and the most self-deletion prone autistic boy will be going first. Did that in Canada too. I don't know how I feel about the fact that I was usually one of the people who were chosen to go first. The gulf of meaning between the terms horseplay and ponyplay illustrates by expecting your culture's translation of another's ancient text be 100% true to their original intent is dangerous and probably not a good idea. I think about this a lot. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned versus sorry, Daddy, I've been bad. May I also add butt dial versus booty call versus bottom text. Hand job versus manual labor. Tags deserve to be seen. This is why A. Translation is an art, not a science. B. Translators should get paid a heck of a lot more. And C. Machine translation is genuinely pretty damn bad. Since I know a lot of people are questioning it, I had to look it up myself. Pony play is basically a furry thing. To put it in the simplest term, it's a furry thing for horses. I want a superhero story that explores the repercussions of powers on the body. You want Doom Patrol. I want a superhero story with queer characters. You want Doom Patrol. I want a found family superhero story. You want Doom Patrol. I want a superhero story that explores the mental health of superheroes. You want Doom Patrol. I want a story that really embraces the undesirable superhero trope. Doom Patrol. You want Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol. Read frickin' Doom Patrol. Okay, apparently it's a comic run and also a 4-season show that seems to be reviewed pretty highly, so I haven't heard about it until now, so I can't actually say if it's any good yet, but I mean, I'm going to at least watch the show. I think take a hike is like the funniest response to someone. Like, dude, just get out of here and go experience the wonders of nature for a bit. Ancestral form of touch grass. Unironically, that is what it is. Like, take a hike is supposed to be A, you need to go spend time away from this group, echo chamber issues, all that. And B, you need to go away from me. Which is very much so how people use touch grass. Like, yeah, this is a joke, but at the same time, it's really not. Like, that is basically where it's from. I don't know if it's rooted in this or if it's just a coincidence that go outside is the best solution, but I mean, yeah, it's the same move. One of my favorite tropes in Chinese literature is when a guy's wife is clearly a ghost, demon, fox fairy, whatever around those lines, and he just can't see it. I'm reading a story where this guy keeps getting arrested because his wife will just magically steal stuff out of sealed boxes and give it to him as a present. And whenever someone is like, dude, I think something's up with his wife, he asks her and she's like, I'm literally normal. So he turns around and says, yeah guys, she's literally normal. Hashtag believe women, hashtag feminism. There's something very sweet that she's giving it to him as a present. I'm not sure which story this is. Maybe it'll end up being a bad thing at the end, but I do really like that trope and this whole idea that, yeah, no, your wife might be doing weird stuff, but you believe her when she says she's normal anyway. I don't know, I just find that trope really loving in a weird way. Okay, listen, dwarves predominantly work in blue-collar or military roles that require personal protective equipment, and they consume more alcohol per capita than all other fantasy races combined. So while I may not be able to prove that dwarves invented the beer helmet, I consider it a given that sooner or later they will. The first great discovery dwarf scalds ever made was that they could mount war horns on their helmet to leave their hands free for an axe and shield. The second great discovery came 5 minutes later when they realized they could shotgun a nail with it. Something that they left out of this is dwarves are usually also depicted as tinkers and being very into creating said equipment. So if anything, that only adds evidence to this. I'll never forget the night I lost my virginity. I was like, you want me to stick my fingers up your what? Why? Did something get lost up there? You root around enough and you'll find their car keys. I think therapy as a pseudo-deific force in the more modern generation's worldview is really exemplified in like how people will say to you, you're a freak, go to therapy. And when you say, actually, I've talked to my therapist about this and they told me it was a good way to process my issues. And they respond, well, your therapist is feeding into your mental illness and needs to have their license revoked. That's not real therapy. It becomes very clear they are not thinking of the material realities of therapy as an interaction and dynamic, and more of therapy as a nebulous, make you normal, genie. Your love of the halfling's weed has clearly slowed your mind. Never forget when Saruman told Gandalf, "You've been smoking too much weed, bro. You're smoking too much weed," says the guy who got addicted to Manosphere podcasts on his orb and started a fascist militia with a side hobby of deliberate environmental destruction. Started cutting down trees to own the woke elves. I mean, find the lie. If anyone ever tells you that English isn't ridiculous, remember that the reason why we have a silent B in depth is because a group of guys got together to standardize English spelling and got to the word debt, which at the time was primarily spelled either D-E-T-T or D-E-T, so they basically went, everyone speaks Latin, right? So let's put a silent B in debt, like debatum, which is Latin for debt. Problem solved. Also, the reason why there is an H in ghost is because of when the printing press first came to England, the only people trained to operate it were Flemish speaking. And they put an H after G because that's what you do in Flemish. They put stuff like girl and goose, but the only reason why ghost stuck is because people saw the Holy Ghost in the Bible and were like, well, that must be right. So yeah, English is a really stupid language with some of the most ridiculous spelling. In high school, I supported the death penalty, but that's only because I was emo as frick and thought it was worse to penalize someone with life. I don't know how I feel about this. What's your opinion? Yes, except sometimes no, and also be polite, except when you have to be rude, but always be fair and have fun with it. Based on genital structure, men should really be the ones wearing skirts and women should be wearing pants. The Scots were right all along. The Scots needed to hide more knives on their bodies. The Scots were right all along. Special thanks to Willow, our glass sailor,